OK, we're going to bring you more now on our breaking news, the loud explosions that have been heard over the Qatari capital, Doha, in the past 30 minutes. Let's go to Ali Hashem. He's in the Iranian capital, Tehran, because we're seeing, Ali, Tasnim news agency saying that an operation called Annunciation of Victory has begun against US air bases in Qatar and indeed in Iraq. What more can you tell us?
Well, it seems that this is the beginning of an Iranian retaliation towards American bases in the Gulf. We've heard and saw pictures from Qatar. Also, there are reports from Iraq. Now there are reports of sirens in Bahrain. So it seems these missile launches are targeting several bases around the Gulf. The Iranians say that this is in retaliation to the United States attack on the 3 nuclear sites on Sunday morning. And for now, we are not sure what's the scope and what's the timing. I mean, how much will this continue? Or it's going to be a one hit and that's it. And of course, whether this is also going to be a pretext for the United States to retaliate or to enter the war, this is something no one knows. It's just part of the analysis. Now, many analysts think that this could be a kind of a choreographed attack that is being, I mean, the Americans are informed in advance, just like in 2020 when Iran retaliated to the killing of General Soleimani, and the Iranian knowing in advance of the attack on Fordo. But these are just speculations. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen just after these attacks. And then we will know what's the posture, what's the status quo. But this is unprecedented, of course.
Of course, it is unprecedented. There was talk of Iran retaliating, as you say, against the US strikes on its 3 nuclear sites in Iran. However, the US warned that if it did, there would be severe retaliation in response. So many people believed that Iran might actually do an alternative retaliation, something covert, something cyber, something like closing the Strait of Hormuz. The region was on alert. The US bases in the region were on alert. But it's hard to believe that actually this was going to happen, that Iran was going to go through with escalating this conflict in the way it has.
Well, the fact is that the whole situation is escalated. It's been escalated since yesterday dawn when the nuclear facilities were attacked. And we thought that the Iranians were taking their time to consider, to calculate before retaliating. They've retaliated against Israel by hitting, by launching several barrages towards different Israeli cities yesterday and today. And now it's clear that the Iranians want to make a clear statement that they will not allow any breach to their sovereignty. But what is the cost of this and what is going to be the ceiling for such an escalation? This is something that no one knows. We are still also waiting a political retaliation from the Iranians, the NPT exit that the parliament was discussing. And actually, this is going to be another major escalation in retaliation to the attacks. So the whole region is now on the verge of an explosion, probably, just in case the United States is going to deal with these attacks without practicing restraint as expected. Because in the last time when something similar happened in 2020, the Americans, the United States assassinated General Soleimani, then the Iranians retaliated by hitting the American base in Iraq, Ain al-Assad, and then things went to calm. Now, are things going to calm this time? This is a big question, especially in the middle of a war, a wide-range war that we are witnessing, probably the first in the history of this region in years. This is maybe the first major war in this region after the 2003 invasion of Iraq. And today, earlier today, we heard from President Trump hinting towards regime change, hinting without saying it clearly. But it's obvious now that things are escalating, things are getting in a way or another to the verge of out of control category. We need to see.
OK, Ali, just stay with us, if you will. I'm just going to bring our viewers up to speed. It's just gone 17 GMT. If you're just joining us, I'm Laura Kyle. You're watching Al Jazeera. We are coming to you from Qatar, where just in the past half an hour, there have been sounds of loud explosions over Doha. Indeed, the explosions that we could hear in the studio. We understand that Iran has fired missiles towards the US base in Qatar. Now, that is situated outside of the capital, Doha, an Al Udeid air base, where there are normally some 10,000 soldiers stationed there and plenty of aircraft, but they have been evacuated in recent days. And we understand that there are very few soldiers also on that air base. All of this follows Tehran's threat to retaliate against the US strikes on the Iranian nuclear sites. That was on Saturday night. We've just been hearing from the Iranian state news agency that this was an operation that they called Annunciation of Victory, and it has been launched against US bases here in Qatar and indeed in Iraq. We're also seeing Bahrain saying that sirens there have been sounded. Citizens are being asked to remain calm. Qatar did temporarily close its airspace, which remains closed now. Some 2.5 hours ago, they did that. So they were expecting some sort of attack to be launched.